Welcome to the Skade TCG tutorial. This video will encompass how to get started playing TCG, as well as how to use arenas and how to get new cards. Skade TCG is a reskin of Hermitcraft TCG made by Vintage Beef. Please support the original game. Just as a recommendation, if you struggle with mental math, it might be handy to have a calculator nearby, as you will need to do basic math while playing TCG.
By the time you are watching this video, you'll already have a bundle in your Portal Room mailbox. That is your Skade TCG starter deck. This deck will compose of 42 cards, including 8 skater cards, 7 effect cards, and 27 item cards. You are guaranteed 3 rare cards in your starter deck, but only effects and skaters. You will not get any rare item cards. In order to get new cards, you will need to beat someone in a match of Skade TCG and earn TCG tokens. To earn your TCG tokens once you have concluded, type the command /trigger TCG match. This will prompt you to pick whether you won, lost, or tied in your last match and give you 2 tokens for winning and 1 token for tying. These are subject to change in the future. Once you have those TCG tokens, head over to the mall and head into the Skade shop, and you can buy one of 4 card packs. Item packs cost 1 TCG token. You will get 5 item cards, with 1 being a ×2 item card. Effect packs cost 2 TCG tokens. You will get 8 effect cards with 2 guaranteed rares. Skater packs cost 2 TCG tokens as well. You will get 5 skater cards and 1 guaranteed rare. Booster packs cost 3 TCG tokens. You get 8 cards that are a mix of all card types. You are guaranteed 2 rares, with a small chance of one of those rares being an ultra rare. This is the only way to get ultra rare cards. To pay for the pack of your choosing, toss the correct amount of currency into the corresponding hopper. Wait about 10 to 15 seconds and out will pop a pack for you to use. Make sure you only throw TCG tokens. Other items will get stuck in the system and you will have to fill out a mod rec to get that item returned. Also, only put the correct amount of currency in at a time. If you are wanting 2 booster packs, put 3 tokens in, wait for the pack to enter the barrel, and then put 3 more tokens. Putting more tokens than the required amount will result in 1 pack and loss of TCG tokens.
Your deck of 42 cards can consist of any amount of skaters, effects, and items you want. However, please be warned that your entire deck has to fit inside of one shulker box. Any deck that cannot fit inside a shulker box is invalid and cannot be used. You are only allowed up to 3 duplicate cards of any kind, with the exception of common items, which you can have however many you want, as well as ultra rare cards, which you can only have 1 of a kind. Every card has a rarity. A card can be either common, rare, or ultra rare. In a deck composition, your deck must be exactly 42 cards, and can have a maximum of 12 rare cards and 3 ultra rare cards. Rare cards include rare skaters, effect cards with a yellow outline around the effect text, and ×2 item cards, which you are only allowed to have 2 of in your deck maximum. Ultra rares include effect cards with a blue outline around the effect text. In the future, there will be 4 added ultra rare skater cards. These cards will act the same way as rare cards, but be harder to obtain. Common skater cards look like this. This has the skater card's name at the top, their maximum HP value, an icon indicating what type of card it is, and 2 moves, each with their own attack value. Moves in the Skade TCG can only be used when you have met the required amount of items for the move to activate. To see the card's move item requirements, use the command /trigger TCG stats while holding it in your hand or looking at it in an item frame. This will list all of the card's stats, and here you can find the requirements to gain access to the move. The required amount of items can range anywhere from no items at all to 3 items. Sometimes the cost will say you can use any item. This means that any item of any kind can work for at least one of the activation costs. Rare skater cards look like this and play exactly identical to the common skater cards. However, you will notice that one of the moves on this card has a blue text instead of white. This indicates it is a special move and has an ability that gets applied when the move is used. To see this ability, do the same command to see the move's item requirements, and listed below it is the special move's ability. Effect cards are cards that can affect skaters or your hand in a variety of different ways. There are two types of effect cards: attached effects and single-use effects. Attached effects are cards that you attach to a specific skater. Example of this are Iron Armor, the Shield card, and the Wolf card. Single-use effects are cards that are immediately discarded as soon as they are used. Example of these include the Instant Health card, the Bow card, and the Composter card. To learn the effects that these cards provide, simply use the stat command. Item cards act as a currency that you need in order to use your skater's moves. There are times 2 item cards as well that count as 2 items of the same item instead of 1. If you want to know what certain cards do, head over to the TCG gallery in the Gamer's Rift and use /trigger space TCG stats while hovering over the item frame of your choosing.
Currently, at the time of this video, there is no official arena for Skade TCG. Currently, there are only 2 play arenas in Gamer's Rift: Crimson TCG and Warped TCG. Skaters are more than welcome to create these play arenas in their own base if they would like to. Skade TCG requires 2 people to play. In order to start playing, insert all 42 cards of your deck into the gray shulker box named Input. Once both players have done that, press the Start/Shuffle button at the very front of the TCG player area. This automatically shuffles all your cards. Players then need to press the button next to the black shulker box labeled Player's Hand 8 times. This should result in you having 7 cards in your player's hand. In the event that one player did not receive a skater to play, that player must input all 7 of their cards back into the input shulker. Press the Start/Shuffle button again and draw 7 new cards. The opposing player also gets to draw 1 extra card as a reward. This is called the Mulligan rule. If the player who drew no skaters the first time does not get any skaters the next time, another mulligan is initiated and the opposing player can draw a second card. Any other mulligans afterwards do not result in extra cards for the opposing player. In the event that neither player drew a skater, both sides reset and there's no mulligan added. Once both sides have valid hands, it's time to start playing. Flip a coin with the dispenser in the center. Red fireworks are tails, and green fireworks are heads. Whichever player chooses the one that it lands on gets to choose to go second or first. Both players start by putting one skater up on the board in the active positions. To state that a skater is active, keep them in the upright position in the item frame. Any additional skaters can be benched during your turn. Those skaters added after there is already an active skater are in the AFK position and are turned sideways to indicate so. You must always have one skater active. The first turn works differently than every other turn in the game. In the first turn, you are only able to attach an item card, bench other skaters, and use effect cards. During the first turn, you cannot attack the opposing skater or switch your active skater with one of your AFK skaters. Once you have done everything you want in your turn, you end by drawing a new card. That signifies the end of your turn, and your opponent takes their turn. Every other turn after the first turn, you are able to do more things per turn, but there is an order you have to do things. At the beginning of each turn, you are able to bench any skater from your hand that you want. You can bench skaters whenever you want, but you can only have a maximum of 5 skaters on the board. Next, you are able to attach one item card from your hand to any skater on your bench, active or AFK. Afterwards, you are able to use any effect cards from your hand to your choosing. After you have used all the effect cards you want, you have the choice to attack, switch your active skater, or do nothing. After this, you draw a new card and it is now your opponent's turn. You repeat this cycle until the game ends. Anytime you have to discard cards, which happens when a skater is knocked out, which you discard all items and attached effects cards to that skater as well, or using a single-use effect card, you place all your discarded cards in the white discard shulker. You can use the signs to actively track the HP of your skater cards. The dies in the shulkers are used to help provide visual aid for your skater's health. Use the dies to indicate these health values. Lime die for any skater above 200 HP, orange for any skaters between 100 and 200 HP, and any skater below 100 HP should use red. At the sides of the play area, you see 3 redstone lanterns. These indicate the total amount of victory points. You gain a victory point once you have knocked out one of your opponent's skaters. Once you have clicked the button that says give 1 point, one of the redstone lanterns will light up. When you earn a point, you are also allowed to draw 1 extra card. There are 2 win conditions in Skade TCG. Permanently knock out 3 of your opponent's skaters and gain 3 points, or your opponent has no skaters on their bench left. Once one of these conditions have been met, you win the game and you can use the command /trigger TCG match to gain 2 TCG tokens. After the game is finished, the player that won needs to press the reset points button. Note that this button only works if you have all 3 lanterns lit. If you win through victory condition 2, just give yourself the remaining points to get all 3 lanterns lit and hit the reset button. In the event of a draw, which happens if both of the last skaters on each side get knocked out in the same turn, both players earn 1 TCG token, with the command /trigger TCG match. To reobtain your deck, keep pressing the draw card button until all your cards are in the shulker. Some special things to note. Status effects. There are 3 status effects within the game: burn, poison, and sleep. Burn and poison are indicated with the honey and slime blocks respectively, and every turn you take 20 HP damage until your skater is knocked out, or you use a water bucket or milk bucket respectively. Going AFK does not get rid of these statuses. Sleep status makes your skater unable to attack. Flip a coin, and if it lands on heads, the skater can awaken. If it's tails, they stay asleep. Going AFK does get rid of sleep. Some cards will affect adjacent skaters. These are bench skaters that are directly above and below you on your bench. If the card affecting adjacent skaters is at the top or bottom of the bench loops around so it would affect these 2 skaters. You are not allowed to duplicate cards with empty maps. If you are found doing this, you will be stripped of all your cards and banned from playing TCG. Even if at this time losing does not earn you any TCG tokens, it is important that you do say when you lose through the /trigger TCG match command. This helps with confirming your opponent actually had a match and was not just trying to spam the /trigger TCG match command to gain free tokens. You are each other's vouchers, so please do your due diligence and make sure skaters aren't trying to cheat. In the event of your turn being skipped, you still get to draw a card. All cards are subject to change for balancing purposes in the future. It is on you to know if certain abilities or cards moves have been changed since the release of this tutorial. Please check the Discord to find out if certain cards have been updated. On April 18th at 5 PM EST, we will be doing a live stream where we play Skade TCG. This stream's purpose is to give useful resource to skaters to have footage to look back on to see how to play TCG matches. Please tune in for a chill hangout session and have some fun playing TCG with us. This is the end of the video. If you have any further questions, please respond in the comments and Obby will hopefully reply to your question. Happy pack opening, skaters!